Hi, it's Dr. Lori. I'm back with more real bargains. That's right, those are the bargains people are finding at thrift stores and yard sales, estate sales, all different places and online, of course. I have permission from everybody to retell their stories, and today I'm going to talk about plates and pins and purses and more. So my first real bargain comes from a video caller who called after they went to a suburban Goodwill store. So they went to the thrift store and they went into Goodwill outside of a major city, and they basically said, you know, Dr. Lori, I wanted to tell you about this because I wasn't sure what I was going to do about this piece. So she finds this piece. You all recognize it, don't you? That's right. It's a Fendi pocketbook. And this purse was actually on a shelf at a Goodwill store. And this purse was on the shelf hidden behind other purses. Somebody wanted it and didn't purchase it or couldn't decide, wasn't sure if it was the real thing, I guess. I don't know why they didn't purchase it from Goodwill, and was hiding it behind other purses. So my video caller says, I have to admit, Dr. Lori, I was unfamiliar with Fendi. I didn't know that designer name till I started to find you and talk with you and do some research myself. I said, okay. She said, and I didn't know if it was the real thing or not, so I had to find that out too. Well, a couple of things about this particular piece. First of all, when you start to learn about particular purses, whether it's Louis Vuitton or Fendi or Coach or whomever it might be, you want to, in fact, make sure that you know as much as you can about the actual history of the designer. Here's a couple of bits of information that was very important for this purse. During the video call, I explained that this particular purse has a 15-character tag, a 15-character serial number, letters and numbers, which was characteristic of Fendi, the very famous Italian designer house, right? They made furs and they made purses and jewelry, and Fendi's very well known. Established in 1925 by the Fendi family, Eduardo and Adele, the husband and wife, and their 5 daughters who have run the company through most of the 20th century. So basically what you have here is a really good example of this beautiful leather Fendi purse. Now, the actual logo will tell you the date of the purse because the Fendi logo changes from 1965 to 2000. It has one type of logo, which actually was established by Karl Lagerfeld. You should know that designer's name, who worked for Fendi. And in 2000 to 2013, they used this logo. It's not the logo everybody recognizes. Most people recognize a double F logo for Fendi. But this logo is the logo of the authentic circa 2000 to 2013 Fendi purses, and it has it right on this one. So a day or a jour purse, these purses were very, very popular in the early 21st century, and that's what we're looking at. Okay, so she's in the Goodwill store, she's looking around, she finds this purse, it's hidden behind other purses, and she says, well, I think I'm gonna buy this. I'm not really sure, but it looks like it's in beautiful condition, with one exception. There's a little magnetic button closure, and that closure is missing. She said, well, the closure isn't missing, so the purse won't close, but maybe I could have that repaired, she thought. But again, she takes a chance. She says, it's 50% off day. I mean, listen to this. So she gets the purse, she buys the purse at 50% off for $2.50. $2.50, okay? I mean, I can't even think of one thing you could buy for $2.50. Is gum even $2.50? I don't even know. Anyway, I don't chew gum, so what do I know? But anyway, so this was $2.50 with her 50% off coupon, right? It was 50% off day at Goodwill. And she says, I'm going to have this piece professionally fixed. I'm going to have that actual piece fixed. So she goes to a repair shop, she has it fixed. She has the piece fixed, the little magnetic button closure, and she says, Dr. Lori, I needed an appraisal because I had no idea. Well, here's the appraisal. For $2.50 plus the money that she had to put in to have it professionally fixed. Now that cost her $90. I know, that's a little steep, but it's not too steep for this piece. $92 is what she paid total, $92.50. Right? $2.50 at the store and another $90 to have that little button so the pocketbook actually closes repaired. Well, value on this purse, $3,000. That's right. That's what purses like this have sold for, not just list prices, have sold for recently. It's in beautiful condition as if it's never been worn. It's a shame that they didn't have the dust cover, the Fendi dust cover, because I think this purse probably has a Fendi dust cover floating around that Goodwill store somewhere, because that piece had really never been used. It's a beautiful example and a real bargain too. So for a $2.50 investment, she got a real bargain worth $3,000. Look for purses and look for the designers. I'll show you how. This next real bargain comes from a mother and daughter story. It was a video caller who told me about her mom who likes to collect and buy thrift store costume jewelry. So this particular piece is a piece which she showed me during a video call on behalf of her mom. And this piece is a beautiful necklace and a long one at 24 inches long, and it is an Oscar de la Renta. That's right. The designers are out in this edition of Real Bargains. Oscar de la Renta from the 1970s, a long chain link pendant necklace with a large composite carved pendant. Really a nice piece, and it has some beads that relate to the pendant as well. I liked the links. I liked the gold tone metal links. I thought they really looked nice. They're pretty chunky. A toggle hold for the clasp. I'm not crazy about toggle hold. I like a clasp that clasps and closes. I like that. I think if you move around, a toggle hold, but lots of people don't mind a toggle at all. This particular clasp is working quite well, and that's where also the Oscar de la Renta mark is. It's a beautiful piece, and what I thought was cool was the daughter who was talking to me about her mother's costume jewelry said, I told my mom I wanted this because I'm a child of the 70s, and this is from the 70s. Right, Dr. Lori? Well, she was right. It's from the 1970s, and it's a really nice example of some of the great designs of course, Oscar de la Renta. It's a good piece. It's in good condition. And what did mom pay for it at the thrift store? $12. What's it worth today? Based on actual sales records, $350. It's a real bargain too. So you don't think anything's at the thrift stores, right? Oh, there's nothing at the thrift stores, Dr. Lori. I can't find anything. Everybody, all the thrift store people, they know. Everybody else knows. They know how valuable it is. And boy, Dr. Lori, then you tell everybody how valuable it is. And you can look it up online and, hey, you don't think you need my help? Fine, go right ahead. But I'm telling you, the stuff is online. The stuff is in thrift stores. The stuff is at estate sales. There's beautiful things being donated away, given away. And a lot of the people who are listing these pieces either don't care, or they're too tired, or they're just not bothering with any of it, and they're losing a lot of stuff. You can listen to me or not listen to me, but I'm telling you, people who are listening to me are scoring, and they're scoring big. This is a real bargain, and this real bargain comes from a thrift store. That's right. This next real bargain is a Trifari Jewelry Set. That's right. A bracelet with earrings matching a beautiful set by Trifari. It's clearly marked with the copyright symbol, and you should all know from my videos about costume jewelry, the copyright symbol means that it's produced after 1955. The copyright symbol and the Crown Trifari mark made by the famous firm. This is a gorgeous example of some of their best designs. Why? It's the color of the, of course, metal, the way in which they make it look like fine jewelry, and of course the details, in this case, faux pearls. Faux pearls as little blossoms, like flower blossoms, and then the gold tone metal leaves of the bracelet, really nicely done in links, and then the matching earrings that go with it. Crown Trifari pieces are high quality costume jewelry, and of course on my other videos I've taught you about values of all different types of Crown Trifari pieces, so check those out too. This was a great example of when somebody really had an opportunity to find a real bargain. So bought this set together at the thrift store, and this set, what did she pay? Well, she paid $10 for the set. What's it worth? It's worth $300. That's right, because the set is intact. Anytime you have a chance to keep the set together, you want to do so. That's a real bargain from, of course, the 1955 to 1970 time period, right, for Trifari, and it's clearly marked as well. Good condition, and of course, that's what you're looking for when you're looking for value. This is a real bargain at $300. This next real bargain comes from a thrift store. It was a video caller who called me. They went to a thrift store and they bought this. This is what they bought for $1.50. Just look at it. Just take a look at it and just say to yourself, $1.50. Wow, at the thrift store. That's right. And in addition to how pretty it is, it's just Austrian crystals in blue, in green, in pink tones, dusty rose, sort of a darker pink tone, and some clear, colorless crystals too, all the way around this circle pin. Classic, a classic piece. And it's marked too. It's made by Weiss. It dates to the 1960s. It's a beautiful find. Imagine this. A wonderful example. My video caller said, Dr. Lori, I had no idea these pieces were so valuable, and I just thought they were beautiful. I just wanted them for myself. So that's great. Weiss, very well known, of course, costume jewelry designer, and this firm creates great classic pieces, just like this one. Notice how good quality each one of those Austrian crystals is. Faceted cut, looks like real gemstones, but it's not. Value on this, $250 for this brooch. It's big, it's beautiful. It reminds you really of the holidays with the blue tones and the red and the green tones. It's a gorgeous real bargain too. This next real bargain comes from a thrift store purchase and a video caller who called me to say, Dr. Lori, I saw the cluster of faux pearls and I didn't care. I was buying this Acorn Pin. So again, sometimes a piece just strikes you and just have to have it. The Acorn Pin here is made by, you know who it's made by. It's made by Trifari. It's marked with, of course, the Crown Trifari copyright mark, which dates the piece to the 1960s. What I liked about it is the design. And understanding and identifying quality designs is really one of the things that will help you to pinpoint the valuable objects, art, antiques, collectibles. It's about identifying quality. So look at the design. It's a beautiful gold tone metal top of the acorn, and then of course the bottom portion is a cluster of faux pearls. They're all bright white, they're really high quality, and it's marked clearly on the back. She said, I saw this and I thought I have to buy it. I said, what did you pay for it? She said, I paid $7 for it. I said, well, $7 is great for this pin. She said, I didn't know what it would be worth. It's a nice pin. It's not as large as a brooch, but it's a pin, so it's a little bit smaller, but it's very, very well designed from the 1960s, marked Trifari. My video caller found a real bargain worth $175. It's a real bargain too. And for those of you who love China, this real bargain's for you. This next real bargain comes from my online appraisal reports. So someone sent in a photo, which you could do right at the web page, right on the home page. There's a little brown circle of a camera, which I talk about. Click on that, submit a photo, submit the form, and I'll review it for you. She submitted a photo for me to review of a pair of lobed dishes, Japanese lobed dishes that you see here in the ko-imari style. I'll explain that in a second. She did the online appraisal report, and I prepared and researched the report, prepared the report, sent it off to her by email, and she got back to me and she said, Dr. Lori, I want to tell you that I got this from an online auction and I didn't pay a lot for either of these dishes. I'm so happy with the report. I've learned so much about my china. Well, what is her china? Her china is Japanese china based on the Imari style, which is a Chinese style of china, and it's called ko-imari. Ko means old Imari style. And it shows the decorative enamel work on top of porcelain. In this case, it's blue-white, right? On top of porcelain. And it shows the landscape in the center of the lobed dishes and also, of course, the decorative banding around the edge with flowers and other forms. It's a very nice hand-painted pair of dishes. Now, they're 6 inches long each, so they're not all that big, but they're typical of the Japanese style from a period known as the Edo period, that period from the end of the 19th century to the beginning of the 20th century, the end of the 1800s to the beginning of the 1900s. Look at the condition of these dishes, and these dishes are more than 100 years old. They're beautiful. They're more than 125 years old. They're really beautiful dishes. They're from Japan, as I said. They're late 19th, early 20th century, 6 inches, hand-painted, porcelain, beautiful. She paid $28 for the pair. What are they worth? They're a super real bargain at $400 for the pair. That's right, you can find the stuff. I'm going to show you how. Watch the videos. Don't forget the binge link. I'm Dr. Lori. I hope you find your real bargain real soon.